Hedge fund manager Bill Ackman now coming after rival Carl Icahn on Twitter this week. Here's what's going on. He's writing, quote, Icahn Enterprises reminds me somewhat of Archegos, where the swap counterparties were comforted by each having relatively smaller exposures to the situation. All it takes is for one lender to break ranks and liquidate shares or attempt to hedge before the house comes falling down. Ackman's tweet caused shares of Icahn's hedge fund to drop below $19 a share at one point. Joining us right now for more on this story, Liz Hoffman is Semafor's business and finance editor. The Ackman-Icahn fight is back. You know, I thought this was over after Herbalife, but maybe there's something underneath that battle that never went away, Liz.
Yeah, it has a very 2013 vibe to it, doesn't it? I think a little more civil this time around. Bill Ackman has said he's not short this one. He's just sort of watching from a distance, and has become, you know, over the last couple of years, a pretty frequent, weighs in on Twitter on a bunch of sort of controversial things. So not super surprised to see him pop back up here.
Okay, so what do you think the reality, though, is of the troubles or problems at Icahn Enterprises?
I think they're real. I mean, listen, setting aside the language that was used in the short report, which is pretty inflammatory, it's clear that IEP has been paying out dividends totally unsupported by cash flows and trades at a massive premium, which is really unusual. It belongs to this sort of sector of these closed-end funds, which usually trade at a discount or a very slight premium to book. At some point, this thing was trading at, 2-3 times book. I think book value is around 15 or 16 bucks a share, so it's starting to come down, but it's still trading for more than the sum of its parts, which is pretty unusual. If the stock continues to fall, he could have a real problem, which is that he's pledged about 60% of his shares in the company to loans. We don't know a lot about them.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Do we have any sense of where the demarcations are in terms of, as things fall, what's been pledged at what number?
Not at all, which is really unusual and frankly raises some governance issues. If most companies have really strict limits on what their CEOs can pledge at what levels, and even if they do, they disclose it. I mean, say what you will about Elon Musk and Tesla. Like, we had a lot of information about how much of his stake he had pledged and where, and when he went to buy Twitter and those margin loans, we knew exactly how far, Tesla
is that a governance issue, or is that a failure of disclosure requirements? I don't believe that we have requirements that require such disclosure, but maybe we do. I guess what I'm asking is, are there rules in place that are being flouted, or is this an issue where maybe rules should be put in place that don't exist?
There's a little bit of a gray area here, and I'm not a lawyer, but Icahn Enterprises is a limited partnership, which has slightly different rules around disclosures. They don't file all the same forms as a traditional corporation. It may be that there's some wiggle room there that Carl is squeezing through, but certainly as an IEP shareholder watching that stock price, approach book value, I would absolutely want to know. There are some filings in Delaware that we've seen. It looks like most of it's with Morgan Stanley, but we really don't know. And I think that's the big question looming over the stock right now.
How much of this is this a dent in the armor or the reputation of Carl Icahn, and how does it change, if it changes anything at all, in terms of his ability and the dynamic with which he's been able to be an activist in so many different companies, to oftentimes attack them? And whether this now changes that dynamic in terms of the defense being, well, hey, you know what? Look at your governance behavior over here.
It certainly hands just like a real easy, low-hanging ammo to the next company he goes after. Interestingly, Illumina, we can talk about that. He just came out of a fight there where he won 1 out of 3 seats. Bit of a Pyrrhic victory, though not a great look for Illumina either. Really didn't actually grab onto that in a way that I had thought they might. They didn't really weaponize it. It was happening kind of as that fight was getting to an end. Certainly a chink in the armor, but also just puts him on his back foot financially. He's, a lot of his net worth is tied up in this company. He does have some other assets. He's got this big stake in Xerox that, you could maybe see something happen with. But, you never want to be sort of selling assets to meet margin calls on any day, particularly if you're kind of in the trenches in a pretty acrimonious fight like the one he just came out of. And by the way, he's also said that he's under federal investigation about some of this stuff, which makes any maneuvering, doubly hard.